it's Dale here. Today I'm going to tell you all about Moonshadow mists. People are always asking me about the sprays. The Moonshadow mists were created by Lindy from Lindy Stank Gang, I think around 1999. And I think Lindy used to travel and do shows in America and sell stamps. And she came up with this idea of introducing the Moonshadow mist. And I was the first person out of America to get them. Lindy was really helpful, used to send me all sorts of samples. And then I worked on different surfaces from her, so we shared a lot of ideas. But her daughter Tracy now runs the business, and there are other sprays, and many people have copied their sprays, but these ones are almost still exclusive to her. They're based on walnut stain. You know, Van Dyke used walnut stains in his work, and it's sort of been forgotten now. We've gotten to the world of acrylics and dyes and all that sort of thing, but they don't have any dye in them. They have a walnut stain in them with mica, and the mica is what gives them different colors. And it's easier to show you some of them. There are 24 in the range. I love them on tissue text, and I've used them all over the place. Sometimes it's hard to show, but by crumpling it up, and you just get the little bits of, I think this is violaceous violet, and you see a little bit of violet stuff that comes through. I just screwed it and laid it on here and sprayed it, and then I'll bond it to a surface, of course, because I love using the abaca paper, the tissue text, and stitch on it. But it's so fabulous, and I use it on all sorts of surfaces, but I'll show you the colors first. And you know, when you spray them, you can see the walnut comes through immediately, and then the mica color comes through, and this one looks remarkably like Moonshadow Mystic Malachite to me, and that's Treasure Island. You can see the colors that have come through, the aqua tones. It's easier just to go through them all. This is Phantom Fuchsia, so you've got that fuchsia color coming through with the walnut stain. This is Buccaneer Bronze, got the bronze shade. This is Silhouette Silver. I really quite like this one. It's one of my favorites. And Buccaneer Bay Blue, which is everyone's favorite color. It's that blue that comes through onto with walnut. This is Mystic Malachite. You can see the green. Jolly Roger Red. You've got the red coming through quite strong. Pete's Purples. And you can see the purpley color coming through. And this is the Van Dyke Sepia. Now the Van Dyke Sepia has no mica in it, it's just straight walnut, the walnut mix. And I do believe that Lindy had them developed by university where she was, and I know no more because I didn't ask anymore, but they still to me are the best. I haven't seen anyone copy these. They've certainly copied lots of her other sprays. This is Iridescent Copper, isn't that just divine? This is Burnt Umber. You've got that umbery sort of slightly reddy tone in there. Crow's Nest Copper, another one. The Copper. The Ethereal Emerald, that's another beautiful shade. The mica. Gossamer Gold, just a nice rich gold. Golden Dew Blooms, which is a softer gold, as you can see. Bucket of Blood Red, that red tones. Burnished Brass, you've got that sort of shading. And Violaceous Violet, there's the violet colour, and Landlubber Green, so you can see the green in there. Keep going. We've got Smoky Sapphire with the sapphire shades, Moonlit Mulberry, Tawny Turquoise is always very popular, Long John Silver, it's different from the Silhouette Silver, it's sort of duller, and Pirate's Plunder Gold. And I think pretty well last but not least is Bluebird Blue Violet, so you've got the blue violet shades. So that's my little book of tricks there, but I'll show you some of the things I've done with it. For instance, this is an old manuscript page that I printed out onto tissue text and bonded it to felt, but I've sprayed it with one of the colours just to give it that old worldy look, and that's one of the things about it is you get the old world effects. So I might sort of spray up different colours to get a little bit of a contrast. But if you've got things like old ledger papers, let's see what we've got here. This is Gossamer Gold. We'll just put a bit on here. And when it's like this, you can't see a great deal until it dries, and then the colour comes through, the mica comes through to it. And this one is Mystic Malachite. So when it dries, you get the colour of the mica coming through. Now when you get the bottles and you people panic because anything that is a spray will jam. So when you get the bottle you fill it up with a little bit of hot water and then wait for 10 minutes till it dissipates, and then fill it up to the line, which is there. If you fill it much over the line, it'll be too high to spray out, and every time you use it, give it a good shake to get that mica out of the stick, out of the middle part. And if it does get jammed, just clean it out, or run it through hot water or anything like that. It's very rarely that they don't work. Now, just a couple of other things to show you. I've used a stencil here on this one, and that's the stencil. I popped it down and sprayed with them, so that's got the blue in it. And then I used the other side of the stencil just to clean off my tissue text here. I've also sprayed on other surfaces with some of the colours. I forget what I've done half the time, but they're always there in readiness to use. So that's the Mystic Malachite. And there's some of the colours onto ordinary printing paper. Now you can use them on your paper before you work further, or put them on top of another colour. They are lovely. Now I don't worry about them coming off again, and I've used them on fabric. If you use them on fine fabric, it'll drop through, but as you saw with the tissue text here. But it's just a matter of like layering up and playing with them. So I hope that's been a little bit useful to all the people who've asked me about them many times. I have an ink book, but I was unable to locate that for today, but it doesn't matter, there's plenty to show you. But through stencils actually, and spraying stamps and stamping onto surfaces, it's just so effective. You could have coloured this first, or so on. So there you go, there's a few ideas. See you again another time, bye.